working. Good afternoon, good day, good evening, good night. Greetings, grand rising to all those who are now joining. This is Dr. Matthews-Bey coming to is okay, yes. So I'm trying to come live to you based upon the interests of what is going on in the corporation. So that video that you would have seen just now, that 30-second clip, would have give you a comprehension of what the struggle is all about around the world and here in the corporation of Guyana, in all the corporations. I want to make it specifically clear, and before I do so, I must say Islam to you, my brothers and sisters, my Moorish brothers and sisters. And I'm happy to bring to you that the coverages of, all the different things that are going on in the corporation of Guyana. And one of them is that I am still running as a proportional representative candidate on the Council of Councillors in the mayoral office and city of Georgetown in the upcoming local government elections. I will be representing district number 5 as a proportional representative councillor. As I will say to my people when I meet them, my face would not reduce output. Well, yes, it's back on. So as I was saying earlier, just now, before I was cut off, is that it would not be my face on the ballot, because the person's face would be on the ballot is the first past the post candidate in district number 5, and that will be Mr. Hines. The representatives like myself, we will have to come under what you call a party or an umbrella, and that umbrella would be a Partnership for National Unity, the APNU umbrella, in the local government election. So when you get to that polling place and you put your X next to Mr. Hines' face as the first past the post candidate, when you go down that ballot, then you'll see another part where it says voting for party or party candidates as proportional representatives, and that you'll see the AP and you sign and you put your X that way. And that now is giving me a position to occupy the office of councillors on the Georgetown Mayor and City Councils. And that I will be able to represent my people in District Number 5. That will be normally be known as B Field, A, B, North and South Sophia. That's District Number 5. So in that way, we will get things done in the council. Well, you know, Miss Dr. Matthews-Bey is no strange person. And I am very, very much active for my people. So I want to bring to you some of the issues that I see that is coming to play. A couple of months ago, I think it was since last year, while I was on this program, I was talking about the entertainment culture. You see, people do not comprehend, some persons do not comprehend what really I'm talking about. And all these things are coming to pass. I would normally say that this show that I normally do is based upon a couple of things. And one of the things is to help you to comprehend the miseducation of the Negro. And they're setting an algorithm for us, and we're following that algorithm. Let me show you. February or December of last year and February of this year, I had many programs that I will come on and talk about the entertainment system. You see, the People's Progressive Terrorist Party are following the book of Willie Lynch and the apartheid system, where they set an economy for us. And what is our economy? Entertainment. Because those black people, their slaves, their servants, can only do one thing. It's to entertain the industry that they have created. And that entertainment industry comes with three things: guns and crime, drugs and addiction, and prostitution. And the business community floods these areas with this particular industry. It's an entertainment industry. If you put guns and crime along with drugs and addiction, it creates an industry. It's a money flowing industry, because there's organized crime. Who are you going to get to do that? At least you don't find no predominantly Indian village in Guyana that is participating in guns and crime. So they come to the ghettos, which is predominantly black. I'm not saying that majority, they don't have other ethnic groups that are participating in such criminal activity, but it's a predominantly black neighborhood. Their servants who are participating in these things. And as long as you identify yourself as black, you already have been identified. You're already being categorized. That is your position when you say I'm black. Well, you're a criminal. That is how they categorize you. And the minute you say I'm Afro-Guyanese, that's the categorization is much more better, because you highlighted yourself in that particular area because you don't know better. And they flood your communities with guns. So in case a crime is committed, or in case a crime is needed to be committed, they know where to go. because they're not going to use their licensed firearm to go and commit a crime. They're going to use a particular group of people, ethnic race, and they're going to give them these illegal guns to go into these neighborhoods and commit crimes. It's the same thing that was happening in 2020 to 2010 during the administration of the Bar Jack Dio's administration. The business community came in, and it was a narcotics business community came in. They flooded the area with all these guns. And all these crimes were committed, as you call it, black on black crime. But we cannot buy these guns. We don't have the resources to buy these guns. We don't have the monies to buy these guns. And how we think these guns are coming into the neighborhood? You find the kind of people that they go into these neighborhoods and find these guns. They can't even afford a cup of tea. So what are you doing with a 9mm Glock? Or a .32 Taurus? Or a .32 revolver? What are you doing with these guns? How did you get it? I wanted to know if the police never asked the questions. You carry these people to court, which the jails are predominantly filled with people of Afro origin or black. How did these people get these resources to commit these crimes? That is what we're questioning. Look at the drugs. Nobody from the black communities, I can call it, can go across the border to Colombia or to go across the border to Venezuela to bring drugs into the country and to flood the communities. I don't think so. It can't happen because you're not designed to traffic drugs, you're designed to sell it. The people who are designed to traffic drugs are who have privileges. Same thing like the business community. That is what we're talking about. And I was talking about it constantly over and over and over. Now it's coming to pass. It is. Crime is committed. You don't know who's the perpetrator. Where do you go? Into the ghetto. You're going to find somebody there with a gun, or you know somebody there with a gun that you could hold on and pin the crime on. These are the facts. Drugs needed to be sold. Where do you go to create a block? In the ghetto. Because no decent community is going to have a drugs block that is there for people to go buy drugs and be addicted to it. They know where to go. It's the ghetto. These are what I am constantly talking about. Coming down now to the most dangerous part, where our women now are regarded as nothing better than an animal. Nothing less than an animal. Here we have an artist, came into the country, brought in by these entertainers that we call ourselves the black entertainers, to bring stupidness to our platform as a people, and then what? Spits in a young lady's mouth. They have no regards for us Guyanese because we have joined the entertainment industry. We think that is what gives us privilege. We think this is what identifies us. It's horrible, and it's becoming horrible every single day, constantly. It is destroying our community as a people. Now, I don't call myself black. I normally tell the world that I'm Aboriginal and I'm indigenous. I'm a Moor. I'm not a slave, because slaves are public servants. It's sad to say so, but if you look at the etymology of the word, we become slaves. The minute we identify ourselves as subjects of Guyana, as Guyanese, that is the position in which we are. The People's Progressive Terrorist Party knows that. And they are playing the page out of the Willie Lynch book and the apartheid system of South Africa. And it has to be done that way in order for ExxonMobil to take away the resources of your corporation that you call Guyana without you giving them the approval to. They don't have to seek the approval anymore. They're taking away your resources from you. Now, I say all these things to tell you that today, this evening, well, it's still daytime, to tell you that these things are what is destroying a society. And these things is what you call the miseducation of the Negro. It's something that we need to comprehend. It's something we need to take cognizance of. You know, we here. You know, I was looking at certain things. I was looking at things that were written about us. And let me show you one of them. We are being educated in a way that they don't have to look over us to tell us where to go and how to eat. We do as we are being educated. They don't have to tell us, well, go through this door. If there's no door, we go and make a door. We know our place because we've been educated to know our place. And our place is entertainment. And that is what they're giving us. They're educating us in our schools. They're telling us, look, your job is to go to school, get an education. And when you finish getting an education, you come out there and you get a wonderful job if you're being certified. What is the job? You get what I'm telling you? Your job is to know your place. That is the education system that they're giving on to us. They're not teaching us economics. They're teaching us to become public servants, servants of the public. Who is the public? Them, the middle class, them, the upper class. They're placing us in a class system, which is system. It looks that way. It looks that way. They're trying to hack my system. I've just realized I've got a double face on my show. The same thing. They're trying to add to a class system. They're trying to add us to a class system, which is an apartheid system. And in that way, they're destroying us and degenerating a society of people. That's what they're doing. And constantly, if we do not recognize where we are as a people, we will remain in this position all the time. Because these are the facts. The miseducation of the Negro, this is what they're doing to us. Well, I mean, not me, but to you. This is what they're doing to you. And it is a constant brainwashing. It's a constant indoctrination. It's a constant enslavement of the mind, and they're doing it to the youth at a young age. If they're doing this in broad daylight, for you, the youths, to recognize it, you can imagine when you get big, because they're doing it in such a way that you now have to succumb to such evil, to such indoctrination, to such a apartheid system by a People's Progressive Terrorist regime. It's a party, but the party controls the government, which is now becomes a regime. It's a regime of terror and mayhem. This is what is continuing to happen. And they are deliberately refusing to use the Constitution, which governs you and them, to do things the correct way. And you know what they're telling you? They're daring you to try them. They're daring you to try them. They're the only party in history of this country has had an electoral coup. This is the first time in Guyana's history in 2020, on the 2nd of August, had a coup, where they have overthrown an elected government by the people and for the people, by a foreign power. It has to be constantly spoken about. I can't pretend that these things didn't happen. Now, when you go on Facebook, on YouTube, there is what you call hold on. There's some historical fact about Guyana in the early 1960s. Talk about the Fox-Bourne government, when 160 people would have died in an uprising in Guyana. They talked about that and said how Guyana was a place of anarchy and mayhem. But they failed to recognize that under the Barrett Jagdeo government, 1,480 people would have died or disappeared. Under a narco state, a state of mayhem, a failed state, and a state of increased apartheid system, they failed to say those things, operating like it never happened in Guyana. These things happen during a 10-year period of the Barrett Jagdeo's government. These things happened. Whether we want to say it didn't happen, or whether we want to create an illusion that it did happen, it happened. You had the Lusignan massacre, you had the Bartica massacre, you had the Lindo Creek murders, you had the Linden protests, killings, all these things. You even had a commission inquiries of that, and people were compensated by the state. Certain fingers were pointed to certain individuals of the Guyana Police Force, who now heads the Guyana Police Force. Do you see where I'm coming from? Now there's an increased need for an entertainment system, and where you think they're looking at the Black community, because you cannot benefit from the oil. There's nowhere you can benefit from that. You're not supposed to benefit. You're a weaker people. You're lesser. Why do you think the mayor of Georgetown, Ubraj Narayan, talked about putting Guyana into a Karaya state? You know what I mean? That didn't come out of his mouth, but that's my interpretation. It comes out of my mouth. But these are the facts. Whether we like it or not, these are the facts. I don't know where else you're going to look to see it. I don't know if fraud thinks that all of us are blind, deaf, and dumb. And Jagdeo thinks that we're living in an illusion. He thinks that when he opens his mouth, his illusionistic comprehension thinks that it feeds onto us. We got to get serious. On this, the 29th day of December 2022, we have to get serious. Because if we don't, you come next year, you have no Guyana and keep talking about it all the time. I've sat back and I've looked. While I've been recuperating, I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm anywhere. We are not going anywhere as a people, as a country. We're not. We're not. It's not profit. We're not profiting from it. You could imagine these nonsense these people coming to tell us, give us $28,000, give us $120,000 in salary. I mean, come on. You got to ask yourself. You've been given 8% salary increase. Then, and that's retroactive, sorry. Then you'll be given an extra 1 month salary after January, in the January. So those who will be getting, according to the 8%, those who will be getting certain amounts will be added to certain amount. Here what is the disgusting part of it that they're not talking about? And I'm saying they are not talking about, yes. The tax threshold is at 70,000 Guyana dollars. So if I'm earning a salary of 400 as a public servant, this money that we're talking about, right, are for public servants. Those who can benefit tremendously from it are those who are employed in the public sector according to contract. According to contract, it means contract workers will enjoy the benefits of 400,000. Those who are not in contract, who are public servants, and these salary increases have been added to it, especially joint services. You could imagine when you draw your salary next month, January, and when after $70,000 the taxation starts, them who carrying home $400,000, you better believe it. Some of you taxes might be roughly 110, 98, 80 something $1,000 because you're gonna enjoy it. Because remember, the tax threshold still remains at 70,000. It hasn't risen. They didn't even care till it be $120,000. So anybody who's earning above $120,000, right, would be taxed. Anybody below would not be taxed. Would not be paying PAYE, pay as you earn. But they're not talking about that. I'm listening, and I'm trying to comprehend where they are talking about it, but they're not. But people want you to talk about the elections petition. They want you to talk about the what you call it again, the trench crapo and the Jacobites. No. Let us focus on the things that matters the most to us. The things that matters the most to us, it is the life of our children after we have passed on. We have to study about tomorrow's future. We can't leave a country in a state like this for our children because they will be enslaved more. These are the facts. They will be enslaved more. And it's hard to think about it, but these are the facts. And at the end of the day, it is our children who will not profit. We ain't gonna profit because as a matter of fact, now you are not profiting. And you know what? When the entertainment industry rises, because it is going to rise, when entertainment industry rise in this in the de facto corporation of Guyana, the drug industry prospers and the crime industry prospers. And the people who they put those industries to are the ghetto, which consists most of the Black communities. Not all of them, but most of them. You check it. During the Jack Dio government, when they want to pin a blame on somebody for some crime, they go to Buxton or Agricola or Pleasance or Victoria. These are the places they go, predominantly Black. Nobody's going into Lusitania. Nobody's going into LBI, Le Bon Intentions, which the young man who brought the container full of end of the day, we are not benefiting. But you gotta bring it to reality. And you check it. This PPP administration is attacking everybody or a body or a group of people that is representing the disenfranchised Black or Afro communities in the corporation of Guyana. You check, Jack just jump up on the stage and abuse down and tear down. Because he tells himself he has immunity. He is immune from being tried. For Ali trying to make sure that before the ruling of Elections Petition 88 or the combined ruling of the COI that will make him illegal or legal, he's trying to call a snap election so it can affirm his legality as president. That's what he's trying to do. So he cannot be sent to court or tried for anything because he can always say that he was elected president, which he wasn't. He knows that he was appointed president by the international community. He was appointed president by the same Sarah Lynch. It's Sarah Ann Lynch who appointed him president, the State Department of the United States, that appointed Irfan Ali and Bharat Jagdeo and Anil Nandalan and Gail Teixeira, a terrorist movement to govern Guyana. That's what they did. That is what they did. We, the Guyanese people, sat down and digested all this evil that is thrown to us. All this evil. We now have to sit down and digest all these parasites. Can you imagine that? And got this little boy trying to run around the place talking about and the photo up prime minister that they got. It makes no sense talking about, oh, there's no apartheid system in Guyana and Black people are not being disenfranchised. Well, believe you me, I don't know where he's living, which country is prime minister for. Because as far as I'm seeing it, it is the Aboriginal communities in the corporation of Guyana that are suffering the most. Nobody's talking about certain things. You got a DJ come all the way from Jamaica, spat in a young lady's mouth and left during a song. I don't even know what the song is because I don't follow. y'all beware of the entertainment system. The entertainment system is designed to degrade you as a people. It is designed to degrade you as a people. And the entertainment system brings about the miseducation of the Negro. Look, you understand? The miseducation of the Negro. That is what the entertainment system is bringing. The miseducation of the Negro. That is what they're doing. And when they do it that way, it becomes a destructive element to those who does not understand what's going on. Because these are the facts. These are the facts. See it, Mark? The miseducation of the Negro. It's a book that you need here. The entire system around the world is designed to miseducate you. It is designed to continue to enslave you. The word servant means the etymology of the word servant, or the etymology of the word slave means to be a servant. We need to get these things correct in our brain. So when you're being educated to become a servant, it's that you're being educated to be enslaved to a system. Don't get this thing mixed up. And that system is created by what you call refined process. Means to refine, means to abstract the real and to leave the unreal, to abstract the good and to leave that what is not good. That's what it means to refine. We think refine means good. We tell ourselves, oh, I'm a refined Negro. There's no refining about you. You're already perfect. When you refine, you're not perfect. You become unperfect. They take away that what is good in you and refine you to their process. And their process is not a healthy process. It's a deterioration process. You become a product of the system. That's a refined individual. And when you stand up to challenge the system, now you have to dance the tune because you can't go too deep into the process of the system. You got to go 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Well, here, my duty here is to always to sit on this program, on this, the Gavin Matthews-Bey show, the Dr. Matthews-Bey show, and to teach you constantly. But you have to show that you're willing to learn, that you're willing to open your eyes and see the vision. You have to show these things. You have to want to live according to such things, because that is the truth. I can only teach you the truth. I can't teach you a lie. Look, I'm having problems having to explain to people about my run in the local government election. Some people like ask me, but you don't like politics? Of course, I don't like politics. But I realize that you can be any kind of leader you want. You either be socialist leader, a communist leader, a capitalist leader, a democratic leader, or a servant of the people. Which one you choose? Well, I prefer to be a servant of the people. I prefer to sit here and tell you the truth. I prefer to run for office as a councillor and to be a servant to you, the people, just to make sure to bring you out of this process of bondage, to bring you out of the process of oppression. We the people, for the people, by the people. Yes, we can. Vote we must. Yes, we can. Do not allow the process to happen again, because it is going to happen again if we don't stand up and make our votes count. I mean, not me, but you. You need to make your votes count. You need to tell the world, well, look, I never voted for the PPP again because they have never won. They have lost this election with 20,000 plus votes. They have never won. They have lost it. And they come into power to rule over us by an installation of a foreign government, a foreign interference. It is the same ABCE countries that we're asking to look into our affairs, that interfere in our affairs during the electoral process, that install the People's Progressive Terrorist Party. Now, we have to sit and make decisions that can benefit them. That's what is happening. But you see, now me, I can't hide it. I got to tell the truth. I don't know which politician is going to join me, but I'm going to say what I have to say. Because it's a dialogue that is going through right now. Because the PPP knows they can't win the upcoming election, and the international institution knows these things too. That the PPP can never win an election because they don't have a voting constituency. It is 3 districts that wins an outright election right now in this country that is predominantly populated. Region 4, Region 7, and Regions 10. Regions 3, they can't win Regions 3 outright. I'm talking about these three regions that the AP and UAFC can win by a landslide and win in a general and regional elections. Because the law says valid votes by a majority. That's what the Constitution says. The Constitution says valid votes by a majority. Valid votes by a majority. That's what it says. Not the nonsense that they talk about in the past election. Credibility. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says you win an election based about credibility. That's why Order 60 is null and void. That's why Elections Petition 88 is they're going to drag its feet. Believe you me, it is going to drag its feet. You think they're stupid? There's so many things that are going on now in the corporation of Guyana that is destructive to our people. And we got to get serious. But I cannot afford to sit and to entertain you. I cannot be 94.1 who's entertaining you even more. They are paid to destroy the Aboriginal or the Black community. That's what they get money for. To introduce entertainment to you, to indoctrinate you into entertainment. So you can go about smoking the Mali or taking it, or having interviews pertaining to the amount of girls they get and how many energy drink you can drink and how you was frass the other night and you feel good. That is not life. That is destruction. Alcohol brings nothing good to the body. Music that we hear, the entertainment that we hear, that brings about the distrust, that brings about the how should I put it over? It's to disintegrate the Black man. That's what the music you listen to on 94.1, and they keep pushing it every single day. It's been something that has been indoctrinated into our brain. So This is the only thing we can see and talk. You could imagine a Guyanese trying to explain his displeasure about a young man spitting in a girl's mouth, and the only thing he can interpret is saying, "My dog and my dog." He has lost the comprehension of English language in itself, because no, none of us are dogs, but because the entertainment system of indoctrination has him in such a particular position that he could only refer to or reference to each other as dogs. I mean, come on. We sat last month and here on 94.1 talking about having a time of entertainment for the thugs, the dunce thugs. I mean, you serious? The word thug comes from the Hindustani culture of Kali, talks about agent of the devil. That is what thug means. When are we going to get real? You're dunce plus you're a thug. That means you're no good. How can you identify yourself as a dunce thug? How can we have our children go to form relationships and conversations and bring home a dunce thug today? That's the only choice they have. Come on. People, we are walking in an array of destruction that is terrorizing and tearing apart our communities. This is the facts. I can't pretend that this don't happen. These are the facts. It become a danger to us. I can't help it. The only thing I can do is help you to bring a resolution to it, but I can't. The thing is that here, the more we sit and do anything, no, the more we sit and do nothing, is the more we add to the problem. The more we stand up to do something, is that the more we bring in solutions to end the problem. As a people, let us stand up to that solution. I know what I'm saying to you. We need to stand up to that solution. We can't afford this all the time, every time. It makes no sense. It's not doing good for us. It's not taking us in a particular, it's not adding us to a particular position where we benefit from it. It's not. And it's only bringing a destruction to us in a manner in which we're not benefiting from it. It's taking away our choices as a people. It's enslaving us even more. The Corporation of Guyana is a plantation that increases apartheid and enslavement of a people every single day by a terrorist regime. That's what's happening. And if we do stand up to it, or if we do stand against it, then we are being called hooligans. They're adopting the apartheid state and regime. They will be called hooligans, hungry belly dogs. By a regime and those who follow them. Because I'll be honest with you, to the East Indian or to the East Asian, I can't call them East, well, I don't know what to call them. To the Hindustani, because majority of the people I'm talking about is those who categorize themselves as East Indian Guyanese. To those East Indian Guyanese or to the Hindustanis that are looking at this program, because you are like, look at it, all the Balrams and the Rams and all these people, you are like, look at it, that are looking at this program, I have a good word for you. When you dig a hole, remember to dig one for yourself. Because you ain't gonna benefit either. None of you. None of you who put yourself in a class who supports a terrorist party. None of you ain't gonna benefit from it. And most of you are upset when you see somebody like yourself stand up for the people who needs representation. Those are Afrocentric or Aboriginal Guyanese, or you call them black. Most of you are upset when you see the mayor of Georgetown, Ubraj Narain, Pandit Ubraj Narain, decide to stand up for the rights of the people that are the majority in the voting constituencies in Georgetown. When you see he can stand up for those rights of the people and you're so annoyed, how can a Kolima represent a black man? He is tired of seeing the apartheid terrorist movement upon a people, destroying communities. He's tired of seeing it. That's why he decided to stand up and speak out against it. That's why he decided to stand up against a pariah state or an apartheid state. That's why he decided to stand up and speak out against it. And to some of you like me who are looking at the show and annoyed that Mr. Norton went on the Freddie Kissoon and Gildari show to talk about the apartheid system. If you look at that show, if you comprehend what Mr. Norton is saying, then you'll realize what he's talking is the truth. I know why he go on that show, so he can speak out to the audience who looks predominantly at the Freddie Kissoon and the Gildari show. Yes, although it's been aired on critics, what do you call it? Critics page, but he had to go there to speak out to the Indo-Guyanese what their government that they sit so silently by and allow, the people that they voted for, the People's Progressive Terrorist Party, take a good look at what they're doing to the Afro-Guyanese. That's why he went there. And he went there to speak out against it. Because it must not be acceptable. None of you can tell me when David Granger was president that you're punished. None of you can tell me that. You just wanted quick money. And because it wasn't coming in David Granger time, you decided to go back and accept the installation of a terrorist regime of the PPP and endorse them because you know the PPP like quick money. See what they're doing? Quick money. But are you benefiting from it? Ask yourself the question. Are you benefiting from it? What Mr. Norton said in the show is correct. There are members of the business community who pays the young Afro-Guyanese or the young black boys, or they want to call them the young thugs, to go burn down places and to go rob people. You call it organized crime. These are the facts. And it's real. It is no pretense. If we do not take cognizance of what is happening now, I don't know when we're going to take cognizance. By the way, though, I want to say it's a pleasure coming here to you this evening, talking to you about the topics that is going on in the Corporation of Guyana and to the violation of the Afro community in the Corporation of Guyana, or the or the Black communities in the Corporation of Guyana to say that it is time you stand up and say no more. Dr. Matthews-Bey said, think no more, because all that I have said then are now coming to pass now. These are the facts. These are the facts. And the fact is to show you that people like Sarah Ann Lynch, who's holding on for thy kingdom come, she doesn't want to leave Guyana. Suddenly she become Her Excellency. Just now you can go call she dress as president. Because it is a terrorist regime that she's in bed with. And she knows that. She agrees according to her understanding to make sure terror and mayhem is disrupted in Guyana, is produced in Guyana, sorry. So the Americans can have their way with the resources of this Corporation of Guyana. I want to say thank you for your time. Tonight's program comes to you with the kind compliments of Events Management Services, Greenleaf Distributors, Black Love, and with the full support of all those who are looking at the present moment for those who would like to support the campaign for Dr. Matthews-Bey as councillor in District Number 5 for the representation of a proportional representation candidate for the District of Georgetown and District Number 5. You can call the numbers on your screen, 611-6575. I think I've put out some information there earlier. And support the cause of me being a representation. The PPP ain't like it. They're done crying foul and running, screaming hard since they know that Dr. Matthews-Bey is on their heels. Once again, I say stay safe, be careful, sanitize yourself, wear a mask. And don't forget the little ones you take it to public places. This is Dr. Matthews-Bey saying, Islam, good night, and Cheerios for now.